Linn Bulldogs Coach's Corner, a service of Blue Valley Technologies, the Blue Valley Insurance Agencies, Midwest Products, and Kuhlman Implement and Hardware.
Donut Day is coming! Donut Day? What's that? Free donuts for Blue Valley customers.
October is National Cooperative Month, and Blue Valley Technologies is here to celebrate. Swing by on Friday, October 24th, before work or school for donuts, coffee, and hot apple cider. Drive through our west parking lot from 7 to 10 a.m. The first 25 people through get a free stocking hat.
As a farm or ranch owner, you've invested heavily in your agribusiness, especially in your livestock. Protecting them from accidents, fires, and other natural disasters is crucial for your farm's success. At Blue Valley Insurance, we recognize the importance of your animals as assets to your livelihood. Visit our offices in Linn, Greenleaf, Hanover, or Marysville to explore comprehensive livestock insurance options tailored to your needs. Safeguard your farm's future with Blue Valley Insurance today.
From the ground up, Midwest Products Hanover can assist with concrete drives, parking, walks, entries, foundations, and support walls. Quality people help produce quality products, and you can rely on their crews for a job done right. Concrete plants at Hanover, Washington, and Clay Center. Midwest Products also haul rock, sand, and gravel. They have a crane for rent and can assist with site preparation. Start your next job with a call for a quote today from Midwest Products at Hanover.
Since 1935, farmers have relied on sales and service from Kuhlman Implement and Hardware in Linn. Your certified AGCO Gale, Gleaner, Husqvarna, and Massey Ferguson dealer, Kuhlman can service tractors and farm equipment as well as automotive. They'll keep you going with any job around the farm, stocking hardware, parts, electrical, and plumbing supplies, as well as custom-made chains and hydraulic hoses. Count on Kuhlman Implement and Hardware in Linn.
Welcome into the Linn Bulldog Coach's Corner program, joined as always with head football coach Trevor Kuhlman. Coach, good win there, 68-14 at Pike Valley last Friday night. I know we've talked all season about the balance you want to see in your offense. Did you see that there Friday?
I wouldn't necessarily call it balance. I think we only had 10 passing yards. We were 1 for 2, but we had 300-some rushing yards. So when you can run the ball well and don't have to throw it, I don't think that's the worst thing in the world, and we had a lot of success on the ground. So I thought our kids did a nice job with that.
And for you as a coach, you've talked about you want to run the ball, and when you get a game like that where you're having success, how important is it to just keep continuing doing what you're doing?
Yeah, I mean, our kids kind of got in a rhythm. By no means was it, in our game plan to go in there and run it every single play, but when it's working, don't change what you're doing. So that was kind of our approach we took. And like I said, kids went out and executed plays the way they needed to.
Yeah, and shortened the game there up a little bit too as well. Now on the other side, I was just looking at some stats for it. You held Pike Valley under 50 rushing yards. So from the defensive side, how pleased were you with in stopping the run?
Yeah, I thought our kids did a nice job. Actually, until we subbed out our starting defense, we didn't give up a first down. So I thought our kids played well. They were flying around. And just execute our game plan overall.
And I've talked to some other coaches about that, those younger kids getting some playing time at some of these varsity levels. How important is that to get their, mojo up, get that experience for them because they will be stepping into roles next year?
Yeah, I think it's huge. We've had some injuries, so we had to cancel some of our JV games, so those kids didn't get necessarily the opportunities that we were hoping they would get this year. So being able to find some chances for them to get on the field and get their feet wet and just play the game, I think was big for us.
You mentioned that word injuries. No one likes to talk about it, but here we are, 2 more weeks left in the season. How healthy is your team?
We've got a couple kids still nicked up a little bit. We're trying to get back, but we're not really trying to rush them back either. We know there's a little bit more season left here, and there's some big games that we need to get them back for, so we're trying not to rush them, but at the same time, we want to get those kids back. But overall, our team health has been pretty good.
Talk a little bit about that. I'm not going to call it a luxury that you have that time to get them, but now you set it 4-2 on the season. From past couple years when you've kind of needed the A1s to step up and play every week, how nice is that to have some backups being able to step in and succeed in those roles?
I think it's big that we've been able to build some team depth this fall. That started this summer, just being able to get kids a lot of reps just with our summer stuff. So, I think it's nice to have that luxury knowing that we don't have to rush kids back because we have confidence in the kids that are backing those guys up. So, and the kids that have kind of filled those backup roles, they've played very well for us. So, been very proud of, the way they've stepped up and handled themselves.
You use that word depth there, and I think especially at 8-man, that's such an important level. Now, we were chatting a little bit off air. You do set at 4-2 this season. You have Osborne coming up and a chance to close out the districts if you pick up a win there Friday. Every game's important, but how important is this one when you prepare for it this week?
Obviously there's a little bit extra juice to it. It's also our homecoming this week. So you add all those different factors, but we kind of talked with our kids yesterday. At the end of the day, it's still just one game. You can't put too much value into it, but our kids understand what's at stake, but they also understand that you don't achieve your goals without going out and executing.
And talking about Osborne real quick, what are they, what have you seen on film this week that you need to prepare for on Friday?
We got to be able to stop the pass. That's kind of one thing that scares me. They've got a lot of really good athletes. They're really young. Get them out in space. They do a lot of really positive things. So, trying to take away that aspect of their game, I think, will be big for us. I've really liked our run defense to this point. It's just finding ways to stop the pass when they do have to throw.
And last one here for you, Trevor, but you talked about it. Homecoming, a big contest. I'm sure there's going to be adversity in this game. How do you want those kids to handle it Friday?
Yeah, some of it, handling that adversity, I feel like our older kids have shown a lot of good leadership qualities, just kind of righting the ship when things get a little rocky for us. And some of that's just we've got a lot of kids that have played for 3-4 years now. They don't hit that panic button like they maybe did a couple years ago. And so just having that leadership and that calming presence out there from our upperclassmen has been really nice.
Well, I know it's going to be a game that I'm going to keep an eye on there Friday night. Again, talking with Trevor Kuhlman, head coach of the Linn Bulldogs. Coach, I've always appreciated the time this season, and hopefully we get to talk with the district champion next week.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Linn Bulldogs Coach's Corner, a service of Blue Valley Technologies, the Blue Valley Insurance Agencies, Midwest Products, and Kuhlman Implement and Hardware.